All right. Pause up, everybody. Welcome to Meowy Hour. I'm your host, Arden Moore. As you know, this show occurs each and every Wednesday live on Facebook and is presented by the Cat Fanciers Association. We also want to give a big shout out to our sponsors in Clover. They make dog and cat pet supplements. I think I have them somewhere. Oh yeah, I have to hide them from Casey and Rusty, my feline co-host. Yum, 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 yum. Please also, we have our co-pilots, all breed CFA judge, Kathy Black, with Destiny in her lap. Hey, Destiny, power to the dog here.
She's missed me all day, so she's taking a nap. Yeah.
She's like, love you. I'll be on a cat show. I just want to be on your lap. All right, cool. We also have all breed CFA judge and the editor of Cat Talk. Give it up for Teresa, Keiger. And now, guys, this is awesome. All right. I'm going to be a little giddy. I was a hard-nosed investigative reporter for many, many years before I got into the world of pets. And back in the 80s, okay, haha, all you guys laughing who weren't born in the 80s, but back in the 80s, I kept my eye on this revolutionary pioneer in cat behavior. She's here right now. And she did this when she was 10. So you're welcome. Please, guys, it is my honor to introduce you to the best-selling author. And I think she is one of the most popular experts on cats. She is a certified cat behavior consultant. Come on, guys. Pam Johnson-Bennett. Welcome to the show, Pam.
Thank you. You are so nice. I need to keep you with me everywhere.
You had me at meow. You had me at meow. Hey, guys, we have some fun. First of all, I was doing a little research, and I love artists from different time periods. I don't know if you guys do too, but I found this strange Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation between two icons in the art world. I'm talking about, remember Andy Warhol, the Prince of Pop Art, the big can of Campbell soup. There he is, looking very smug right there. All right, I'm going to share with you some commonalities between Andy Warhol, who was the guy known for being he's the Pope of Pop, and he's the guy credited with that phrase, 15 minutes of fame. Remember that? Okay, yeah. So Andy Warhol. Next up is another famous artist from a different time period, Pablo Picasso. Right? You're like, what is she doing? All right, Pablo Picasso is one of the co-founders of the Cubist movement. So here's something that the two gents have in common. They were major, major cat lovers, and especially the Siamese breed. So I'm going to ask my all breed cat judge experts. Did you guys know that?
No.
You can go, yeah, all right. So here's the funny thing, Pam. What do you think of this? Andy Warhol, back in the day in New York, he's from Pittsburgh, but he is in New York. He at one time amassed 25 cats in his place.
And he never called me for a consultation.
No, I know. But here's the weird thing. One cat was named Hector. The remaining 24 were all named Sam.
24 Sams? They'd all come. Who cares?
The veterinary clinic? I would like to make an appointment for Sam, please. Well, our records say, what? Oh, here's something that...
Well, you have to show grace to artists.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like George Foreman, all his kids are named George.
Right.
So if you got a grill and you got a bunch of kids named George, I see no reason why the Pope of Pop can have 24 Sams. The other one is, I love Pablo Picasso. He had a Siamese cat named Minou, M-I-N-O-U. Okay, any of you parlez-vous français? What does Minou mean in French?
Kitty. Like minnow?
Kitty.
Oh,
kitty.
Okay.
He didn't name the cat Sam, I promise. But I liked it because he, in the blue period, for any of you artists out there or people who appreciate art, he would slip in cats in some of his works. And he has a quote, and I love it. He says, "I want to create a cat like the real cats I see crossing the streets, not like those you see in houses. The cat on the street has bristling fur. It runs like a fiend. And if it looks at you, you think it's going to jump in your face."
What kind of cats were in the street there?
I don't know. Some very aggressive ones.
I guess. And you probably got like, why did Arden bring up Andy Warhol and Pablo Picasso? One of the other reasons I did is kind of a tribute to my late great mom. My mom had, my parents divorced. I lived with my dad, and my mom got a Siamese cat named Love, L-U-V. Now you know how old I am. We're talking like the late 60s, early 70s. And one of the things she did was she gave me the firstborn from the litter. And the cat's name was, I named him Corky, but his nickname was Loudmouth, which was proven. But in my mom's house, she had prints from Andy Warhol and Pablo Picasso. So this kind of is a tribute to Jean Oliver Zuver. She's up in heaven right now going, "You did that right, Arden. Good job." All right. At this time, too, I don't know if I can get him down here, but last week was Rusty's birthday. Oh, here we go. Hi, Rusty. Tails up, buddy. He goes, "Come here." He goes, "We have a special thing we want to show off. And we want to thank Jill Thompson. She made this bandana and mailed it to Casey. And it just came yesterday. Rusty, in honor of his second birthday. Thank you, Jill Thompson of Onyx Cat. Thank you very much." Okay. So you're like, here comes a pet behavior expert going,
I'm just amazed that Rusty, such a hefty looking cat, has such a tiny voice.
He does. He does. Thank you for that. All right. We've got a lot to cover today. First, we want to get into what's going on in the Cat Fancier Association world. Take it away with the CFA Minute. Swing it to you, Kathy.
Okay. So coming up this weekend, it starts Friday, June the 11th, and it runs through the 13th. There is a virtual convention for anyone that wants to create the babies for the future. So there's an online kitten conference. Here's all the different sponsors. CFA is a sponsor of this, along with the Humane Network, the ASPCA, etc. So you can register for this. You can find a link to it on our Facebook page, our CFA Facebook page. The easiest way is just go to communitycatspodcast.com, and you can check it out there and register for it on their website. So go to communitycatspodcast.com, and everybody that wants to learn about how to care for kittens, please join them this weekend, starting Friday, for the kitten conference.
And as you notice, guys, the people involved are people that are dealing with shelter and rescue, as well as promoting good breeds. So we got everybody in this one. I like that very much. Can you show the In Clover thing so they will be happy to sponsor us? All right. I love Rebecca Rose. Rebecca Rose is a biochemist, and she started In Clover, and she creates pet supplements for both dogs and cats. Casey and Rusty's favorite, of course, is the one either Smile or Sleek. They battle it over, but I like it because they're very good ingredients. They have third-party testing, and she's committed to make this good for all pets. So I wanted to thank her for being our sponsor, but we're going to be giving away this 4-pack right now. And even if you don't win, you can save a little ka-ching if you go to inclover.com, and when you go at checkout, please put in the discount code Meowy InClover21, and you're going to get 10% off your your order, which is nice. So
Yeah.
thanks, Kathy.
Bye now.
All right, bye now. All right.
Bye now.
So last week, the question was, what is the name of the richest cat in the world? Don't say Bezo or no. The owner left this kitty $13 million when the guy died in 1988. Now, it was with a lot of the money went to 3 different cat charities, but this kitty, what was the name of the kitty that's in the books as the richest cat? It turns out the kitty's name was Blackie, lived in Great Britain, and the bazillionaire who left the money is a guy named Ben Ray, R-E-A, and he was an antique dealer. So he loved his cat Blackie so much that he made sure that none of his kids or anybody else got the money. What's your thoughts on that, Pam?
You know, I have kids and I have a cat, and there are sometimes I like my cat better than my kid.
Hey, Mother's Day's done, Father's Day's up. All right, cool. I like that. Now, here up for grabs is the packets. Oh, go ahead.
The winner.
Oh, yeah, you got the winner.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
The
Bad
winner's
manners.
Amelia Evans. She won the In Clover package, and Christine Kelly got Arden's book, the cat behavior book. So congratulations to Christine Kelly and Amelia Evans. And we'll choose several winners for this week, so you guys pay attention.
Yes, because we're going to do winners right now for this trivia, but then when we're speaking with Pam in a few seconds, we're going to give away 2 copies of her book, Catwise, which will show up in a minute. So you guys got to pay attention because we got prizes coming everywhere. All right, here comes the trivia question. All you guys here, do not answer.
You expect us to know it, right?
All right, now, this is kind of tricky, so I want you guys to pay attention. I want you to name the oldest cat, how long this cat lived, according to the Guinness World Records. Now, when you do the Dr. Google, make sure you pay attention because a new leader, a new champion was crowned this year. So the cat lived to be 38 years old.
Wow.
And 3 days, beating out, let me see if I have this here, a cat that lived 38 years.
So by 3 days?
Supposedly. Now, the reporter in me is like, okay.
Yeah,
But
they're both records, right?
this kitty lived in Austin, Texas, because everything's big in Texas and everything lives long in Texas. I can say that because now I live in Dallas. I'm finding that out. I'm waiting to get a growth spurt.
Weird, aren't they?
Yeah. All right. So you will get just bonus bragging rights if you can name the owner of this cat. And because it turns out this owner also had another Methuselah-like cat named Grandpa Rex, who lived to be just a mere 34 years old. I don't know what they're feeding these cats, but these cats are living over 3 decades, and 2 of them.
That's wild.
What do you think of that, Pam? That's kind of scary.
I want to know what they're feeding the cat because I think maybe we need to start taking it.
Exactly.
All right, so here are your choices. Is the name of the oldest dead cat. God, how do you say this? The cat's dead. That's so
The
brutal.
cat with the longest lifespan.
Thank you. Look how polished she is. Okay, longest life, according to the Guinness World Records, of 38 years, 3 days, lives in Austin, Texas. I'm giving you guys clues. Now listen carefully. Is the cat named A, Baby, B, Cream Puff, C, Ma, D, Puss? Again, your choices are A, Baby, B, Cream Puff, C, Ma, or D, Puss?
And do you want the cat's name only or the owner's name also?
No, that was just bonus bragging rights. If people want to shine, they can. But what do you guys think? So there you go. The winner's going to get the packet of In Clover cat treats, which are cat supplements, which is cool. All
I
right.
had no idea. So I'm no poker
Do you have
face
any
needed
idea,
here.
Pam? Pam, do you have any ideas?
Totally clueless.
How about you? Did I stump the experts?
Yeah. And I want the facts behind this because you taught me that.
You know, I spent 20 years as an investigative reporter with my editor said, Arden. He did have a thing of whiskey in his drawer. I was like 20. He goes, if your mother tells you she loves you, check it out. And that's how I learned to be a reporter. Hey, Mom, I got to ask you something. All right. Without delay, guys, we've got a legend in the house. And we have to thank her for her good, solid, scientifically, veterinarianly based information about how cats do what they do and why do they do what they do. And she's been a pioneer in this field since the 80s. And we are not going to make her feel old because she looks a hell of a lot younger than me. She also, she starred in the Animal Planet series, Psycho Kitty. And that aired in the UK and in Canada. She's written 8 books on cats, bestsellers. She's given away 2 if you pay attention to our little dialogue here at the end. She also used to be a singer and a songwriter. We're going to talk about that. Please give pause and applause to a best-selling author, cat behavior consultant, certified, the one and only Pam Johnson-Bennett. I'm so honored to have you on our show, Pam.
Thank you.
And you are still keeping busy. I mean, back in the day, and I think this is good to do a little time travel. Let's go back because it was all about the dog, right?
It was, yeah. You could find dog trainers everywhere. There were dog books out there. And when I started, it was an accidental career. I wasn't planning on this, but I adopted 2 kittens. And over the course of a couple of years, I messed them up. And they ended up being really poorly behaved. And I went to the veterinarian. And at that time,
the veterinarian, in the early 80s or late 70s.
This was late 70s. The veterinarian said, there are so many cats. Let's just put these cats down. And whoa. I was shocked. And I went home and I thought, okay, I've done this. I've got to figure it out. So I went to, back then you had to go to libraries. You couldn't just hop on the internet.
Library is? Library. You got to do this. You got to open one
you
of
actually
these.
had to put on your coat and your shoes and walk to a place or get in the car. And there were no cat books. I mean, there were a few, but they weren't really about behavior, and the little bit that you could find was totally inaccurate or not at all helpful to a cat owner. So I set out to learn from the best teachers in the world, and that's cats themselves. And the cats turned out so great that friends started asking me to help.
You're 2 that were going to be
cats.
just ceremoniously goodbye.
Yeah. And it ended up that when I brought them back the following year for their vaccinations, that veterinarian asked me if I would start working with some of his clients. And then just word started spreading. Veterinarians around, I lived in New York City, veterinarians around New York started calling me. And it ended up where, okay, I could either make next to nothing in music or maybe have a career with cat behavior. And because nobody was doing it, I didn't realize how tough a career it was going to be.
Wow. Well, you just opened the door. What kind of music were you playing? And I heard you made your husband and kids have to honor a promise you made.
Yeah, I had a rock band. I also sang for other people.
What was the rock band called?
It didn't really have a name. It just went by me. My name.
Man, it could have been the Stray Cats.
Oh, I know it was. Yeah, back then. Yeah, I should have had that insight. But I would sing on jingles and sing for background for other people. But I didn't make any money at it. And my husband and kids have some pictures of me from when I was younger, actually in like leather pants and rock gear and wild freaky hair, and they are not allowed to show that. Kind of like a blonde sort of Joan Jett. I mean, it was all about music and New York City, but it got to the point where at one point and I've talked about this many times, I was in a recording studio working, and the engineer kept saying, Pam, there are people who keep calling here asking if you're here. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, I'm really getting famous. No, it's because they heard I knew about cat behavior and they wanted some help. So that's how the career started. And
Wow.
I have not looked back since. It's been a hard road. It's so much easier now if you start out than the way I did. But I am so grateful for my initial clients, because I made a lot of mistakes. But
Well, speaking of mistakes, what were the names of your original two cats that you did a
oh,
turn?
and it's not even original. I'm so embarrassed. Lucy and Ethel. It was not very original.
Well, that's okay. I think Lucy and Ethel had made a pretty good career.
And they kind of acted like, Lucy and Ethel, but
Yeah.
I owe them a lot, because they had the tolerance and the patience to stick with me and basically teach me. And that started that whole think like a cat, which is kind of my thing.
That's to me, the cat Bible. Think Like a Cat, guys, is one of the books that Pam Johnson-Bennett did right. And you guys know this. I'm trying to think, I don't want to embarrass you with all the titles, but I have Think Like a Cat. I have Cat Wise, and I have Cat versus Cat. So thank you. So we're going to throw some questions at you, because I know people are going to have, we would fill up a whole hour, not an hour, we'd fill up a whole week with you. But we have the good cat behavior consultant in the house, and she's certified. So can you explain, because people look at titles and blah. This lady has almost 40 years of knowledge in cat behavior. Move over Jackson Galaxy, and I like him. But seriously, I think he was in diapers when you were helping people with pets.
It's funny how now there are a lot of people who kind of and I'm not saying this about Jackson, but
no, I like Jackson. He's my bud.
Who kind of take credit for things, and people, I'm watching my techniques and things being credited to other people. And it's like, hey, remember me back in the Flintstone years, so.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I think you created the whole foundation for this whole field. And that's not said lightly from somebody who's been taught, if your mother tells you she loves you, check it out. So as a reporter in me, I'm saying, guys, right in front of us right now is the person who laid the foundation to the modern cat understanding, what they do, why they do, which gets me into a few things, because right behind you, you've got the Arm & Hammer. And you, like me, I think, are very protective and selective before you launch a mission or a campaign with a company. And so can you tell us a little bit about what's going on for senior cats this month, and how Arm & Hammer is playing a role?
I'm so excited about this, but in honor of Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, the ASPCA and Arm & Hammer Feline Generous have teamed up to launch a giveaway to help celebrate senior shelter cats, and it's called Shelter Tales. And so for the month of June, from June 1st to 30th, they're asking people to celebrate and submit their senior tales, their heartfelt stories, their stories about how their senior cats have added joy and love and comfort to their lives. And they do it by going to aspca.org/senior tales, tales being TAILS. And the great part about it is, by sharing these stories, people who are maybe considering adopting a cat may read some of these and learn more, and think, gee, maybe I should consider a senior cat. Because as you know, it's the kittens and the young cats who get adopted first. So this is a great way to highlight this. And
say it again, aspca.org/senior
tales. And there's more. 3 shelters will be awarded at the end of June, $2,500 each. And one pet parent will receive a whole year supply of Arm & Hammer cat litter. So get on there, get your stories, help share it by doing the hashtag Senior Tales and Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. But let's get
That's a lot
those.
Of scooping.
It is
a lot of scooping of the pooping.
Let's get those senior cats adopted, because
Yeah.
senior cats can live a long time. You know, the image of, oh, adopt a senior cat, we're going to have all these medical issues. That's not the case. What's great is the senior cat, you may know more about the personality that's already developed. You have less training. Not everyone wants a kitten who's going to climb the curtains and you're going to have to do all this kitten proofing.
Yes.
So
I just went through that. Yes.
it's a great opportunity. So I encourage people,
good.
This is the month to do it. ASPCA.org/senior tales. Let's get these cats adopted and let's help people learn more about senior cats.
So
That's a great program.
Can you give me a few just litter box do's and don'ts? I don't want you to write a book on it. Just give me like a do, a don't, a do, or whatever that might to just help people know how important litter box placement, everything is to the kitty and to the other people in the house.
Well, we make a lot of mistakes. And the first mistake we make is we think like a human in terms of what we would want. We think of our bathroom and we want it very private. We want it away from everything. So we tend to make litter boxes for the cats too private, too scary. We've got a covered box. Sometimes they have a flap on them. I have clients who've put covered boxes in cabinets, and the bad part is, yes, cats, you don't want the litter box right in the middle of the living room, but being in the litter box is a time of kind of safety issues for cats, especially in a multi-cat environment. So you want an open litter box that's easy to get out of so a cat has escape potential. And that's a big thing owners forget about, is the cat doesn't necessarily feel safe in there. And the other thing is we just don't keep litter boxes clean enough, because we don't want to deal with it. We tend to put them in very remote areas so that it's out of sight, out of mind, or we have a covered litter box, which not only isn't good for escape potential, it's that we don't see it. I mean, when you think of a cat with their nose about 8 inches up from the ground going into a litter box, oh, how awful that must be.
Well, that's like going back after COVID and we got those porta potties and it's a hot, sticky day and you really have to go and you're like, really? Or you open, now this is gross, but you go and you open your toilet. Imagine if you forgot to flush your toilet for a day. Isn't that the equivalent of what a cat's facing when you go into a hooded litter?
And if you talking about something like a porta potty, if you're at an event and you go to a porta potty, if it's too disgusting, you have the option to not use it, find another one, leave the event. But with our indoor cats, they're stuck. So what's their other option is to go somewhere where we don't want them to go. And then we punish them for it. We punish them. And then that just makes the situation worse. So it's keep the litter box clean, cleaner than you think it needs to be. Make sure it's in the right location and that the cat has escape potential. And then the third thing is you should have more litter boxes than you have cats.
I do.
Most definitely. I always have at least one more box than cat.
Right. One more, and don't have them all lined up because your cats have their preferred core areas within your house. So you want to make sure each cat has access to a litter box without having to pass another cat's area. And that's how you maintain multi-cat peace, by making sure there are enough resources easily accessible for each cat.
You do also, that's a nice transition, Pam, because there's some issues with, are they playing or are they actually being aggressive to one another? Can you help us a little bit understand the difference between two cats in a same house? Because you deal with a lot of multi-cat household issues, to help our folks distinguish between play and let them be, or
Well, if they're cats who normally get along, then they probably are playing. If you see your two cats who aren't friends, that may not be play. Now, sometimes cat play gets a little rowdier than we would think. Sometimes there's an occasional hiss or somebody bit a little too hard and they get smacked.
Rusty says, I'm a little guilty of that with my big brother, Casey. I'm sorry.
Don't be in a hurry, to assume it's not play, but it should be even in terms of if it's always the same cat being the aggressor and chasing, then chances are that's not play. You want to have it be reciprocal. There shouldn't be hissing, of just maybe like an occasional if somebody misjudges something, but there shouldn't be the hissing, the growling, you shouldn't have the fur flying, kind of, all of that. And the cats after play should be normal in terms of they want to be together and everything's fine. If they head for the hills, the opposite sides of the house, then it probably wasn't playtime.
Well, I'm laughing because I'm in a tiny house in Dallas doing this show, and I have a triangle hutch in the corner with, of course, a cat bed, because cats have to loom down on me. And Rusty just jumped up and just touched noses with Casey up there. Like, we good?
Hi, bro. How are you?
How you doing, bro?
Yep.
Sometimes I play a little too
She's
rough.
got
with
ice cream. She's got ice cream.
He said ice cream. All right. The other thing I want to do, and this is important because we're not fans of punishment.
Oh, no.
So I know it gets frustrating. The two cats you're not sure if they're playing too rough or not. And back in the day, everybody reached for a water pistol or something. What's the deal? What's your thoughts of the squirt gun? Good and bad?
Squirt gun is bad. Any kind of punishment. I know back in the day, and also back in the day with dog training, it was, smack the dog with the newspaper. Yeah. And a lot of people with cats, rub the cat's nose in his mess, or smack him on the nose, or pick him up by the scruff, because that's supposedly what the mother cat does.
Me off.
So the problem is we are assuming a behavior we don't like is bad. And it's not. Even a behavior you don't like, whether it is biting, whether it's eliminating outside of the litter box, whatever it is, there's a reason for it. Cats do not just wake up in the morning and go, okay, I'm just going to annoy you. So, I'm going to shred the curtains and pee on the sofa. They don't do it. So you have to look at what is the reason for the behavior so that you can find the underlying cause and correct it for the cat. Maybe the cat is peeing outside of the litter box because he's got a urinary issue, or maybe the box is too dirty. Well, imagine the stress if you've now punished the cat for that. Or the cat scratching the sofa. Scratching is a normal, natural, needed behavior, and you're squirting the cat with water or chasing him. I have people all the time asking me, can you train my cat not to scratch? And I was like, no, I can't. I can train you how to help your cat scratch in the right location. But no, I will not untrain a cat to do something that's natural. So that's like the first thing.
Can you not type, right? Can you not text? Say, I'll train the cat if you stop texting.
Right. You stay off of social media and leave your phone at home.
So give us some solutions, because I like this, because cats use their claws for many reasons, and we have the expert in the house. What are some of the things?
All right. Scratching is the obvious. It conditions the claws. It removes that outer dead sheath.
It's like a free mani-pedi.
It is, right. Now, and the reason they may choose the sofa or a place you don't like is because that's an effective, very sturdy, very tall area to get an effective manicure.
Yeah,
there are also scent glands in the paw pads. So when they are pressing their paws against there, they're releasing an olfactory scent. All right. When they do scratch, it leaves a visual mark, which is another marking behavior that's important for cats. It helps stretch their back and shoulder muscles, and it's a displacement behavior. So if you've come home and the cat's excited to see you, he just runs to hopefully his scratching post and scratches. Or maybe he's a little nervous or stressed out about something, and he may go to the scratching post and do that. So it's a vital behavior for cat health, for physical and emotional health.
So in my house, there's more than one cat tree or cat scratching post, and they're different designs. Tell us, we got HGTV where everybody's talking about their open concept and all that. I think you should be the host of an HGTV show talking about cat design and cat behavior. Let's all rally for Pam Johnson-Bennett. We heard it here on Meowy Hour. Woo!
Oh, I would love to create the ultimate cat home. But you look at where a cat is scratching now, and that tells you what kind of texture, whether it's a vertical or horizontal, and what location. You might have the best scratching post, but if you've put it upstairs, down the hall in the guest bedroom, but the cat wants to scratch by the entrance to the house, then that doesn't do any good. So you look at where the cat is scratching. Also, cats can have preferences in terms of texture. You know, some like the sisal, some want bare wood, some like the corrugated cardboard, some are strictly horizontal scratchers. So if you have a cat who scratches on the welcome mat, then maybe get a corrugated scratch
that's
pad.
cool. Yeah.
So you look, the cats are great at communicating. They're telling us what they need. If we would just stop and look and say, okay, this is the type of texture, this is the location. Let me see if I can do a scratching post that matches that.
Okay. And as we're talking, I know Teresa is off the air, but if there's any questions you guys got, we've got a few minutes with Pam. This is your time to be asking one of the premier people in cat behavior knowledge. This is a big one. We know dogs like us. We know when they love us. You know, like my dog Kona does. But I always hear people, and I think my cat does too. Ooh, paws crossed. How do you know that the cat digs you? And what can you do to improve your friendship with your cat?
Well, I love this because we have this dog mentality. You know, if the cat doesn't act like a dog, then, you know, the cat doesn't like us, or the cat isn't affectionate, or the cat's aloof. Cats show affection in a variety of ways. It can be obvious in terms of the cat likes to be held, likes to be in your arms, wants to be in your lap.
Right on your shoulder. That's what one of mine does.
But also, cats are predators. They're very tuned into their environment. So it might be that the cat wants to sit on the couch next to you, but look out at the environment, because you never know when a mouse might, you know, happen by. Cats will also, they'll show it in their body posture. Maybe they just want to lounge next to you. I know that there are many people out there who are on their computer and the cat is right by the keyboard. They just want to be near you. You know, cats do these slow eye blinks that are very relaxing, and many of us call it a cat kiss, you know. So there are so many ways that cats show affection. It could be vocal, you know, the little trills and
Casey does this. You met Casey's up here, and I'll go, Casey, how you doing? Meow, meow, meow.
So we just have to get out of that very rigid, you know, view that we have that cats have to act like dogs, because dogs are great at being dogs. Cats are great at being cats, and we just have to let them be cats. And the other thing is, if you want a cat to like you, stop trying so hard. You know, because that's why cats tend to like people who aren't cat lovers, because sometimes the cat lovers just intrude on a cat's space. Let the cat set the pace. Let the cat want to be with you. You know, sometimes we just go over, pick the cat up, and the cat hasn't had any warning. You know, it's like, oh, you have a cat? Great. Let me pick the cat up, you know, and the cat doesn't know, are you friend or foe yet? I don't even know who you are. You know, give me a chance. So stop trying so hard.
And play with them. Play with their favorite toy. That's always, you know, if
what's
they
a
want
good
to play,
toy? And cat shows. I just went to one in Mesquite, Texas with Kathy and Teresa. It was a CFA show. Oh, they got a lot of wands and other things for the kitties. And when I went there, Pam, I didn't see any stressed out cats. I mean, these are the cats household and pedigree division. And they're like, oh yeah, we're on the tour. You know, so how are toys so important, and what kind?
Toys are vital, and you may have to do some toy testing. You know, I have toys that I recommend a lot in consultations that I know are kind of tried and true, but you know, cats, it might be a toy that simulates a bird, or it might be something that simulates a cricket or a snake. Sometimes you have to do some toy testing to see what your cat likes. And also, when you play the way a cat would hunt. A lot of times people either dangle the toy in the cat's face, and then that isn't playtime. Now you've become an opponent, because no self-respecting mouse is going to go up to the cat. So you have great toys there.
Well, this one has the crunch.
And that's the other thing. Some cats, there are texture preferences. Some want something hard. Some want something that is very soft. Playtime is very valuable because it releases endorphins. It releases those good brain chemicals. Cats enjoy the hunt. So if you play with your cat on a regular basis, and my recommendation has been always for the last 40 years, play with your cat at least twice a day for 15 minutes each, because then you're helping to keep those brain chemicals out there.
Oh, good.
And it's like an exercise. You know, you can go to the gym and exercise like a maniac and then not exercise for another 2 weeks. You haven't done any good. Whereas if you do a small amount every day, it's much more beneficial. So playtime is good for the cat physically, it's good for the cat mentally and emotionally, and it's great for the bond between the two of you.
What's your take on laser pointers? Because
Hate
I've
them,
heard,
hate them,
I
hate
heard
'em, hate
that
'em.
they set bad behaviors, but our cats love the laser pointers. So
Well,
Well,
you
of course,
think they love,
they
right?
love them because they are fascinated by the movement, but the problem is cats are tactile creatures and they have carpal whiskers here
Oh,
at
yeah,
what would
right
be their
there.
wrist. So then when they capture a mouse, that whisker is telling them whether the mouse is moving. And when they put their paw over the laser dot, they don't get anything. So it's
Ow.
never satisfying. So I don't like lasers. And people tend to use them so fast that it becomes this frantic movement. And for a cat, playtime or hunting is just as much mental as it is physical. So when you're just doing these crazy movements and the cat is bouncing off the wall, you're not really doing anything other than increase the cat's heart rate. If you are using a laser and your cat absolutely loves it, to transition him, I would suggest you start with the laser and then have an interactive toy and then start shining that laser on the toy to transition the cat to
Uh-huh.
that.
I use paper wads down the hallway. And they
Light
get
and
that
easy. Yeah.
tactile.
Cat hockey.
It
Cat
costs
hockey.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put it in the bathtub too, not filled with water, please, or bubble bath, but empty, and they can become a feline Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. You've got interactive play, but you also have solo play. And a lot of people just have toys that are just either in a basket or in the middle
Yeah.
of the floor. I strategically place things for my cat to find during the day. It might be
Nice.
a fuzzy mouse with the tail hanging, you know, on a perch in the cat tree, or it might be something, a mylar crinkly ball that's peering out from a table leg, a ping pong ball in an open paper bag, so that as she
Nice.
goes through her day, when I'm not around or I'm busy, she's got these little impromptu things, which is the way it
Oh,
would be
that's
out in the
fun.
wild.
I like
Yeah.
that. You're giving Pearl an aha moment,
Yes.
right? And I think the other day we have 2 cat trees in our living room together, so it makes it look like a jungle gym. And I didn't know I was doing the Pam Johnson-Bennett way, but every day I try to put something different or hide. It's like an Easter egg hunt we have 3 kitties, Mikey, Casey, and Rusty. And I had one of these toys like this, kind of perched, but all you could see was this little, it was like
Yes.
a dangling. And all of a sudden Rusty grabs it and he's trying to get it, and he gets the whole thing and he carries the whole thing down the hallway. And I swear his chest swelled. Like,
But when you think about it, you know, we want cats to be in the house. We want them to be safe, but then we don't give them anything to do.
right.
So, you know, and with COVID, you know, we had, I don't know about you, but I had so many deliveries, you know, coming. So my cat had a great time because every box was used for a while
Mhm.
to house a cat toy, or I created a tunnel or something to make her
Nice.
life more interesting.
Now, you mentioned you have a kitty named Pearl. Tell us a little 411 on Pearl, and then you have a woof in the house.
I do, yes. I love both. Pearl is a rescued melanistic Bengal. She is a black cat who has, I think, she was dumped at in my field and with a bunch of other cats, and Pearl was the only one I could get. But she, I think, was dumped here to remind me I don't know as much as I think I do, because
Yeah, Bengals are a little handful, aren't they?
whoa. So she upped my game big time. So she's been a
How's that,
blessing,
Pearl?
because
And what
I would
about you?
I
Go
would
ahead.
bring out toys with her and she'd just look at me like, really? That's the best you got? You know, so we had to start doing agility and creating things that were a little more challenging for her. And then
Now,
I also have
your
a
doggy.
dog. My dog is, Griffin is a Sheltie, and he was pulled from a hoarding house when I was doing investigations. And he is severely emotionally broken. And even at 11, we've taken him as far as we can. I mean, I'll love him till the day he dies. But I know there are things that I wish he could experience and be joyful about, but
That's
he
right.
won't.
That's
But
sad.
he's doggone lucky he landed with you.
Oh man,
And
he's got it.
hit
And
the
Pearl
right
and
one.
Griffin are like two little thieves in the night. They plan things. She gets him to do something, like she'll see some piece of food that I've dropped. She
Yeah.
won't get it, but she'll kind of, in her cat way, go get it. You won't get in trouble. Go get it, or something like that. And then he goes and gets it. And then, it's like, then he
Wow.
brings it to her and she steals it. So yeah, they work.
A friend of mine had a dog and a chartreux, and the chartreux would get up on the cabinet and knock the paper off on the floor so the dog could shred it. So if there was any paper
Teamwork
left
makes
on
the dream work.
they worked together in tandem. The cat would say, "Here's a piece of paper for you," and the dog would shred it.
It's great. Hilarious. It's great to watch that relationship because Griffin does have so many issues. Pearl has reached him. There's a communication between them
that's good.
That's precious.
Well, we've learned a lot from Pam Johnson-Bennett today. I want all of us to go to catbehaviораssociates.com. Also, you have a Facebook page with your name, Pam Johnson-Bennett, and there's some period in the middle of it.
I think it's, Facebook/Pam.Johnson-Bennett. But if you go to Cat Behavior Associates, there's a link to go to Facebook. And I have a lot of articles on my site. So, although I'm an author, you understand this, you want to sell books. But my main goal is I want to make sure you have the right behavior information. So I've tried to make my articles as specific as possible.
They are. And if you would, Kathy, show the photo of Pam with some of her books. Now I want to see if you guys have been paying attention, because Pam is giving away 2 autographed copies of her book, Cat Wise. I'm going to see how smart you were. What are the names of the first 2 cats that she had, that she went to the veterinarian and she on her own, learning with experts in this pioneering field called cat behavior, was able to work with these cats and bring out the best in them? It's hint, hint, hint. It's a famous couple. So
I know.
Okay. So what do you guys think? Do you think that's a good question to ask?
That's a good question. Yep.
All right. I was going to ask more than one, but I'm just going to ask that one. You guys, I know she described herself as a blonde Joan Jett back in the day, but she has made a difference for people and their cats. And I just want to salute you, Pam. And I hope you'll come back, because I know wait a minute, can I say it? Scratch the surface.
I've had so much fun. This has been great. And can I just remind everybody on a serious note, let's go to aspca.org/senior tales and let's get these senior cats adopted. And thank
you for you and Arm & Hammer for partnering together on this mission. Pam's going to stick around with us, but we only have like 13 minutes left, and I have an ice cream dessert I got to make at the end. So I am going to have, please, Teresa and Kathy are going to talk about this merging breed called the Toybob while I get the ice cream out of the freezer. Pray for me. You know what happens with Rusty and Casey.
Yes, we do. Okay, we won't talk very long about the Toybob, but I wanted to bring up this breed. This is a breed that originated in Russia, and the first cat was named Cutsy in 1988. And then from 2012 through 2019, they expanded this breed with other registries. It is currently in the miscellaneous category, which is the category that CFA puts a new breed that wants to come in for acceptance. They have to move through some certain benchmarks. And so the miscellaneous category is where the Toybob currently is. It's a moderately small cat. It's probably going to end up being our smallest breed of cat. It's got well-balanced features, though, with medium bone structure, good muscularity, a little compact body, and of course, they're known for their bobtails. The bobtail has to be at least 1 or more kinked vertebrae, and they come in both short hair and a long hair. The long hair is just a semi-long hair, the difference being the coat length. They have a very pleasant, affectionate temperament. The ones that I've had the pleasure to handle the cat shows are a lot of fun, very sweet, very pleasant temperaments. They bond closely with their humans. They're gentle, they're amenable to be handled. And because they're small size, even though they have small size, they're very active and playful and agile. The seal point coloration is probably the most color pattern being shown currently, but they come in all colors and patterns. I thought this picture was kind of interesting. Their tails right now can be any length from just a couple of vertebrae all the way down to where it comes to the top of the hock. It cannot extend past the top of the hock, and it's always going to have at least one kink in it. So this one, like here, you see it's like tied in a knot. It could be a tight little corkscrew, like a pig's tail. It could be a looser turn. It could just be the little turn at the end. So all of these are currently acceptable lengths of the tail.
And
Here's
I think
a couple.
the important thing to note there, Kathy, if you go back one, Mother Nature does this. We
Yes.
breeders don't do this. We don't cut the tails. We don't twist them down. This is all at the whim of Mother Nature.
Exactly. So like I said, it comes in different colors and patterns. Here's another seal point. This is more of a lynx point. These kittens here, I don't know if they're going to end. I don't think they're going to be seal points because the others are already seal pointed. So maybe these are solid white. Maybe they would develop some color later. Their faces are just very sweet. They have a lot of expression to their eyes. Like I said, they're a very sweet little breed. Here's a little tortie. And I've seen them, like I said, I've seen them where the tail goes down to the hock and then it comes up. I've seen them with the shorter tails. Like Teresa said, it's Mother Nature, so there's no way to really control that. So right now, with this breed being a newly accepted breed, they're accepting all the different tail lengths. The tail lengths may change in the future, who knows, but that's the way it is right now. So just wanted to bring attention to this little Toybob breed.
Okay.
Very, very rare.
I never heard of it before, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
what I
brand
also like about the CFA is you guys recognize all cats, including mutt cats like I have. And can you tell us a little bit about the canine companion world?
Not canine.
I mean, what am I doing? Companion cat world. You know,
Yes.
I think Kona changed the notes on my thing, my
Oh,
dog.
could be.
Yeah, I'm gonna
We
blame Kona.
recognize the non-pedigreed cats as well as the pedigreed, and you can register your non-pedigreed cat with our Companion Cat World program. It's $13 for a one-time fee, lifetime fee. You upload a picture and you get a lovely little card with your cat's picture on it, and your information and your cat's name. And you can also get luggage tags and rings for your
Luggage,
key rings.
we get to travel again.
I know it. So go to cfa.org/ccw and check it out.
All right, quickly, I play it safe for our pet and our dog and cat's sake. As you know, I am a certified master pet first aid instructor, and I do operate a veterinary approved program. And one of the ones that have become gained in popularity is a cat only first aid class. It's 3 hours through Zoom, live, interactive. And these are my four-legged assistants, Rusty, the performer, and pet safety cat, Casey. We do have openings for our Tuesday class, June 29th. And for those who have dogs too, we have a 4.5-hour program. It is going to be on Saturday, June 27th. Please go to Pet First Aid for You. And one of the best gifts you can give a pet is to learn what to do when uh-oh happens. So you can stabilize them and get them safely to a veterinary clinic. What do you think of that, Pam?
I think that's awesome. And I encourage people that the more knowledge, the better, because if you have that knowledge in those panicky situations, you can rely on that rather than just, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do?
And we teach you, we give you permission to freak out later.
Yeah.
Because you're going to hate this. Pam is not a punster, but you have to be in the me now. You have to be in the present moment, and they smell your emotional state.
Right.
So you fake it till you make it. But I'm telling you, I've helped my cats and my dogs. I have performed CPR. I have revived pets that have choked and collapsed from getting into dental floss and bleeding and other things. And when I know I have permission to freak out later, that really helps. So, all right, are we ready to celebrate all cats? Look at this. There's a cat's meow. As you know, I am a licensed bartender. I love making drinks even more than drinking drinks. There's something wrong with me.
You are
But
such a surprise.
I have surprised you, haven't I? Yeah, threw you a curveball. Anyway, please give a shout out to Teresa Keiger. She's the one who creates the graphics for my kitty cocktail creations. Thank you, Teresa. The one we're going to create today, I can't wait for the cats to come down and in my little table. Mayhem may happen. I'm calling this the perfect minty delight. Think of it as kind of like a frozen grasshopper, not like a bug, but that drink. And for this drink, you're going to need a blender. I can't move this any closer, the blender, because of the extension cord, and I don't want to electrocute myself. But in this you're going to need 1.5 ounces of cream de cocoa. Cream de cocoa, that's a chocolate liqueur. So it would be a 6 count, or if you were using, where's my little guy here? Oh, where did I do with it? Oh, there it is. It would be the bigger one of this, 1.5. So I'm going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the blender.
That's
Then we're
really
gonna-
fast, Arden.
Huh? Well, it's a
Really
big hole.
bad.
Okay, I'll go slower. Cream de mint. Now, this is a mint flavored liqueur. It is clear in color. Slow down the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is where all fur is going to break out. I'm bringing out the kitty kryptonite vanilla ice cream. Oh gosh, Rusty's looking right at me. And you want 2 generous scoops of vanilla ice cream.
No, it's 3. 1 for Rusty and 2 for your drink.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'll put an extra, I don't care. All right, put a little more in there, didn't really get. Praying that he doesn't see the scoop with the dripping of the ice cream. And then we put what I do with my lid.
Yeah, that would be important.
I know, what did I just-
Hey, Rusty, you're in luck. Some ice cream's going to fly up.
I think Rusty took it. It's all well planned.
Oh my God, oh, there it is. All right, all right, yeah, he is devious. Okay, hold your ears. Okay, here we go. We're gonna blend it, baby. I feel like a blonde Joan Jett. All right, so you take your glass. I'll bring this down a little bit. Take your glass and make it pretty. Drizzle in some nice chocolate syrup in there. Pour in your beautiful concoction. I should have got a smaller glass or more alcohol. And then you want to take some slivered almonds and just sprinkle it on top. So at this time, I want us all to raise a glass. It could be water, it could be tea, it could be the perfect minty delight. And I want us to all salute cats, purebreds and mutts who have made us better humans. Thanks, kitties. Cheers.
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 I think Arden's is probably going to taste better than my water.
And you know what? I am doing dessert before dinner, and I like it.
Hey, that's the way
This
to do
has, when you do the cream de cocoa with the cream de mint, they shake hands and they say, this is marvelous. So the summer's here, it's hot out. This is better than going to DQ. So check it out, okay? At this time, also, I really want to give it up for everybody that has been paying attention to Meowy Hour and showing up and coming to our show. We're almost to a 1-year anniversary. It's going to be, we're going to celebrate in style the first week in July. We got Desiree Bobby and Aline. How do you say the last name?
Tartaglia.
Tartaglia. Oh, that's going to help me. She is the executive director of the CFA. We're going to have some fun, guys. But at this time, let's give it up for our very, very special guest. We hope will come back. We're talking about certified cat behavior consultant and best-selling author, Pam Johnson-Bennett. I am so glad you've been on the show, Pam.
Thank you for inviting me, and I will definitely come back
All
anytime.
right, we love it. And we do want to thank the Cat Fancier Association, of course. Want to thank our sponsors in Clover. We really appreciate it, guys. Check out, they make supplements for cats and dogs that are yum yum for the tum tum and good for their bodies. Go to inclover.com. Remember the 10%. Meowy and Clover. Is that right?
21.
Meowy and
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, the links
Meowy
in the
and Clover
chat.
21. Yeah. And Teresa's probably typing it in the Facebook
Yeah,
feed.
I did that at the top of the show, honey.
Oh, she's good. She's on it. Of course, thank our co-host. We're talking about Kathy Black and Teresa Keiger. And let me see if I can get them. Come here, Casey. Rusty, come here.
Who's our guest next week, Arden?
Our guest next week. Oh, we got a good one from Fear Free Pets. She is a licensed veterinary technician, Debbie Martin. And I like her. She's married. Her husband is a veterinarian, and the two of them are some of the key people in the fear-free pet movement to relieve fear, anxiety, and stress. So we're going to have a licensed veterinarian on the house. So until next time, this is Arden Moore, the host of Meowy Hour, saying we'll see you same cat time, same cat channel. Be good to your kitties, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.